Well, hello, my name is Salim Bakraoui, and I'm an offensive developer at Axiom, but this doesn't matter much because we're going to talk about fighting games. So this product is for all the fighting games nerds and mechanical keyboard fans, as you'll see. First off, there are common fighting controller issues. So, like, your average arcade stick or your mix box, etc. The common point is they're all bulky. They're very bulky and they're very hard to carry if you are restricted on space, like you have a small bag or something like that. And with the case of lever arcade sticks, they're too noisy. I got yelled at for that, so I won't choose one again. And mix boxes are like better in some way because they do less noise, but they're way too bulky. And that's also an issue when you want it to be portable and maybe carry it at events, etc. You won't have to prepare a single luggage for that. So I found the Fightboard MX that's made by one single guy, and he sells it on Etsy. It's a very great controller, don't get me wrong, but it has some cons, like it's very expensive. You have to pay 170 euros to get it shipped to France, and in a complete state, because you can buy it without switches and keycaps. It uses a closed firmware made by the same guy, and you don't have access to the 3D models and PCB. And it also uses a kind of wimpy microcontroller. It's a derivative of the Arduino Micro, if I'm correct. So not good. I mean, it's good, but not on this point. So I made this one. Actually, the one you see on the picture is the first prototype that I've made. As a software developer, I've learned a lot with electronics doing that. And it uses a Raspberry Pi Pico and an open source firmware, the GP2040C Community Edition firmware. You can make it by yourself because all of the files are available on GitHub. It means like you have the Gerber files, all the PCB files basically, the casing, and also the firmware. So you can build one yourself. And I'll also create an Etsy shop, but it will be way cheaper than the Fightboard MX because I don't see why it's so expensive. And that's the end.